as we all got ready for sweet dreams of the NFL Combine, the NFL Draft, what Omar Khan had to say on Tuesday morning, T. Higgins heard it all and said, nah, dude, I ain't done talking. I ain't done with this. I ain't done with that. I'm still going. And everything that Duke Tobin said at the NFL Combine about wanting to get T. Higgins and Jamar Chase a deal and feeling good about it. Yeah, well, in the words of T. Higgins, it's cap. And for those of you who don't know what cap means, it means nonsense, not real. Farce, we would say. We would say it's a farce. T. Higgins tweets out the cap. I just went on a little bit of a rant about my Airbnb and everything else, so I'll let you start this conversation. I'll end it. Are we back? Are we back? Is T. Higgins officially back?
I think we're a long way from being considered back in this conversation because let's not forget.
Don't ruin the dream like that.
Let's not forget the Cincinnati Bengals could still franchise tag him, and if it doesn't work out, eventually trade him. And I don't think the Cincinnati Bengals have any interest in trading him to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I don't see a way in which he makes it to free agency, which is the most likely way that the Steelers would be able to seduce T. Higgins over Pittsburgh, because I just don't see, even if the Bengals get to the point where they're saying, well, we're not going to be able to get a deal done, and T. Higgins is threatening to hold out and he's threatening to kind of skip the 2025 NFL season, we have to trade him. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are maybe not last, but near last on the list of teams that the Bengals would actually talk to.
See, I still hold strong that I don't think I agree with the argument of the Cincinnati Bengals wouldn't trade T. Higgins to the Steelers. That would never happen. A sign and trade, which I have heard is a possibility in this instance, I don't think is on the table for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I still hold strong a little bit that I really think that T. Higgins could get pissed off enough to be in on the Pittsburgh Steelers and view them as a real option in 2025. Like, I really think that money talks. And at the end of the day, if he's getting $35 million from the Jets and $35 million from the Steelers, like, I really think that Mike Tomlin might have that influence to be able to pull him here. And I don't know. Like, I think I'm about it. Now, I agree with you that I don't think we're back yet. I think we're on the way. We're on the way of being back. We are the train has tossed a little coal in the fire. You know, the engine's starting to heat up just to stay warm, just in case it's got to get moving again. But I don't think we're back. I don't think we're rolling. I think this is T. Higgins saying, guys, look it, I'm not playing under the franchise tag. There's no chance I'm going to do that. As he shouldn't. He should not be playing under the franchise tag. And because he deserves $10 million more than the franchise tag. I mean, somewhere around $10 million. If you're going to pay Jamar Chase 35, T. Higgins is 32, and I'd be okay with that number. I'm not playing under the franchise tag. I don't think a sign and trade is fair to anybody involved, and I agree with that. You're going to sign me, and you're going to stop talking as if you're going to sign me, and things are going great. Things are awesome. In Cincinnati, we're super happy. No, nobody's happy right now. The Bengals are in a spot where Jamar Chase isn't happy. He wants a deal. T. Higgins isn't happy. He wants a deal. Joe Burrow wants both of them to have a deal. Trey Hendrickson needs a deal. And I think T. Higgins is just making it known, like, guys, things are not great in Bengals territory right now. And maybe that could change, but the way we stand here right now, I think it's a little warm. I would say warm. I'm not going to say hot, I'm not going to say moving. I think it's a little warm. Now, this is just the beginning. And the T. Higgins thing isn't going to end. March 12th, I believe, is the deadline for franchise tags. It'll come right down to March 12th. They will negotiate the entire time. Then they'll slap them with a franchise tag. They're not going to let them walk into free agency, and they'll make a decision from there. But I think even with the franchise tag, this thing is not over yet, that anything could happen. Now, it's over for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Once the franchise tag happens, it's over for the Steelers. They're not going to sign and trade them to Pittsburgh. That's not going to happen. But I think a lot of things could happen between now and March 12th. I do. I think T. Higgins could cause enough problems to want out of there. And I'm okay with a pissed off T. Higgins if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, because he had to force problems to get out of there. Players got to do that all the time. all the time. I don't look at T. Higgins as a problem, just like I didn't look at Brandon Ayuk as a problem last year either. Like I didn't look at Brandon Ayuk as this big drama queen that the Steelers should be worried about. I looked at Brandon Ayuk as a guy who wants to get paid and deserves to get paid. And they weren't willing to pay him. And I think guys are deserving of their money. T. Higgins is the next one to be deserving of his money. Will he get it? If I had to guess, probably. I just don't. I think a holdout is more likely than any other scenario in this instance. And number 2 is a sign and trade in my eyes. Like, I think that there's a real chance he's out of Cincinnati. Now for the Steelers, we'll see what happens. A lot's got to go wrong. But man, I think everybody got a little fired up last night. I think everybody got a little, all right, what's going on here? We back. And look, it just makes it known that it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We thought it was quiet. It's not over yet.